What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and another Trials era tutorial and guide. Now, a big part of progression, of course, is just knowing your enemies, and each of the Chaos tiered trials introduce a new enemy and combine with some of the old. Now, of course, all the Chaos trials are going to have all of the baddies that you're already used to. There will be Goblins, there will be Orcs, there will be Ogres. However, each Chaos tier is going to introduce a new bad, which is listed right here on the Threats Encountered section at the War Table when you click Trials. Now let's jump right on in. Chaos 1 is going to bring the Elite Shield Goblins. Now these are just what it sounds like. They're goblins with a big old shield, and they're badass. And as you see here, highly trained deflection experts. So any projectile towers that you use that are like behind your wall, that are shooting directly into the goblin shields, are going to have a significant reduction in effectiveness. So the best thing that you can do is use any sort of ground traps, like traps, auras, or even weapon manufacturers or proton beams, or use an AoE type trap that's going to go directly through those shields, like flamethrowers or ramsters. Now, if you do want to use your projectile towers, you can always put those just directly behind all of the bads, and then you're not firing into the shield, so they're going to take the full damage. Now, moving on to Chaos 2 here, we've got the Elite EMP Orcs, or the Cyborgs, which these guys are going to disable any sort of ground trap. So traps and auras are going to be less effective, as they are going to be disabled quite frequently by the EMP Orcs. Now, the disable on it lasts 15 seconds, so it's not out of the question that you use any sort of ground traps or auras. However, you're going to have to remember 15 seconds can be quite a long time if you've got a large buildup of baddies beating on your walls. Now, Chaos 3 is going to introduce the Elite Shield Geodes, plus you're going to be bringing back the Elite Shield Goblins from Chaos 1. So once again, you want to set up in the same way you would against the Shield Goblins, without any projectile towers that are forward facing. In addition to that, all projectiles are going to reflect directly off the geode. So you're going to want to use defenses that will go through the geode shield, like flamethrowers or ramsters, or any sort of ground defenses like traps, auras, manufacturers, weapon manufacturers, or proton beams that are going to be unaffected by the shield goblins and the shield geodes. So need to take both of those into consideration. Now on Chaos 3, the Elite EMP Orcs are gone, so you don't have to worry about the ground traps being disabled. Now moving right along to Chaos 4, the Elite Berserker Orcs, pardon me, or Lady Orcs as most people call them. The Lady Orcs are going to have no real strength against any type of defense. However, they do run fast, and they run directly towards your walls. Now currently, of course, there's also some issues with Lady Orcs hopping over walls and going right to your core, and that of course is a bad thing. Now, Lady Orcs can be pretty easily equalized with heavy use of projectiles, as projectiles, even if a Lady Orc jumps over your wall, is still going to get shots in before they get to your core. Now, in addition to the Lady Orcs on Chaos 4, you're going to have shields and geodes. Now that, of course, is going to negate the projectile benefit that you're looking for, and you want to find or use defenses that are going to be effective with all of these different types. The shield goblins, the shield geodes, and the EMP orcs. So in Chaos 4, defenses like flamethrowers and ramsters are going to be exceptionally effective, as they are going to be able to negate the special ability of each of these different threats. Now Chaos 5, of course, introduces the Elite Dark Assassins, and the Dark Assassins can be quite brutal, and there is definitely a learning curve. When you first encounter them, prepare on just getting beat up really quick. However, you will learn little tricks and tips to make it easier to deal with the assassins right out of the gates. Now, the strongest thing you can do against assassins right before you even start your first match is to have a nice pool of hero health. If you roll into Chaos 5 with 20,000, 30,000 hero health, you're going to have a really tough time. And in fact, up until, say, like 100,000 hero health, you're going to find yourself dying quite frequently if you're not careful. Now, in addition to the Dark Assassins, Chaos 5 also has Cyborgs and Berserkers. So you're going to have Lady Orcs rushing your walls, plus you're going to have Cyborgs dismantling any of the ground traps. Now, when you do get to Chaos 5, a good mixture of projectile, ground, and AoE defenses is really the easiest way to get things done. And the natural counter to Dark Assassins is just stun. So there is stun pets, there is stun you can put on your defenses, such as the heavy cannonball or the stun on any wall. An important thing to note about Dark Assassins is when they jump on you and do their damage is a cleave. It's hitting everything in the area. So if you go next to, say, your core or any of your defenses, you can count on those defenses probably being wiped out by one swing of the Dark Assassins. Now, hopefully this helps everyone out in their progression through the different Chaos tiers of trials. And really, the most important thing is just understanding your enemy and knowing what's coming out of the gates. So make sure you look through this and you take a look at the threats encountered right here on the war table before you progress up to the next tier. So that will do it for now. Thank you for watching. Click that like button and please subscribe to the channel. And we will be back soon with some more DD2. See ya!